Ringside Renaissance, and this is our Survivor Series review.
Dun, 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 dun,
A favor for a favor.
dun,
Jesse,
dun.
ring the bell.
You are now listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast.
We're back for another episode of Ringside Renaissance, and we're here with the Survivor Series review. Yeah.
WarGames.
WarGames. WWE. Yeah.
Woo.
And I'm here with pretty, deadly Jesse. Yeah. And I'm Andrew. Kombat Joe. Yeah.
Ooh.
Survivor Series. WWE WarGames, baby.
We survived. Oh boy, what an event it was. 2 WarGames matches, 3 titles on the line. What better could you ask for one of the big 4 PLEs?
Yeah.
I was pumped. I was at the edge of my seat, and then I sat back and said, what is this shit? Then I was at the edge of my seat again. It was a roller coaster of emotions for me last night. I really, really loved what was going on for the most part.
Yeah. Vancouver, Canada. Yeah.
We acknowledge you.
We certainly do.
And
Yes.
shout out to everybody in the IWC that was sending us pictures that actually went live to the event and stuff. That was pretty cool to see. Different angles and shots they had. Keep them coming. If you guys go to any events, send us pictures. We like seeing them. It's really cool to see the vantage points and let us know about the atmosphere actually in the crowd, because it's a lot different being in the arena than watching on TV. We would like to know like how the emotion was, what the energy was like. Let us know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And Vancouver, that's a beautiful city too. Like the landscape and the scenery of the mountains right outside the city. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
Very beautiful. So shout out to everybody that got to go and got to attend, and shout out to everybody that lives there.
Yeah.
Truly blessed.
Yeah. Stay blessed up.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for hanging out with us during our live yesterday.
Yeah.
Something fun we should do a little bit more probably for the big 4 PLEs. We can start going live before the event. And if anybody wants to come on the show while we're live, just send us your email and we can pop you up on and hang out with us. That would be really interesting to see.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out to Mikey. Mikey came on. Mikey FPW, baby. Yeah.
Talk about overcoming adversity, man. AT&T is down in Texas and he was still able to hop on with us and bring his dog on his lap with us. And it was really a great time.
Yeah. Shout out to Mikey on Twitch and Kick. Yeah. Go check him out. He's in our links below. So.
But you clicked on this link because you wanted to hear us talk about Survivor Series WarGames. It was such a big lead up. The Bloodline imploding. The Civil War is at its full peak right now. Mm-hmm. We had some championships on the line, like we had mentioned. Right. Some surprise winners, maybe. Yeah. We shall let you know. It started out, the first WarGames match. Some people were complaining about maybe not having the WarGames match so early on, but I think it gave some separation in the event, not having them back to back, because those are long matches, man. I didn't realize it until I was watching the women's WarGames match, and it went an hour. And I was looking at my clock a lot to say, let's.
Yeah, I see why they started it at 6:00.
Yeah.
Because it takes about 5 minutes just for the cage to come down and them to play the music and shoot the fire off and all that. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. The entrances, like...
Yeah.
Everybody had to get their own entrance, and...
Yeah.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. So the women's WarGames match started out. We had talked about it before. We understood, like, because of the gravity of the actual gimmick match itself. I'm sorry, not gimmick match. The spectacle that is the WarGames. It's nice to have women represented in the match.
Right.
I would have liked to see some of the women's titles being defended at this event otherwise, but I could see what they were doing. I felt like the WarGames was a little rushed on the women's side, and the match started, and I think a lot of my feelings were justified with it being rushed and maybe not necessary.
Yeah. What was up with the toilet seat? That was just shitty.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know, that man, I really wanted to like the women's War Games match too. And I think, like, in retrospect, looking back at it, if I watch it again, I'll probably appreciate it more. But in the moment watching it, I was like, like I was kind of picking it apart, and maybe I was being too harsh on it, thinking to myself, maybe. I don't
think you were.
No? Okay. Well, yeah, it's just like every woman that came in had to grab like a weapon. And then they're like, at some point it got to a point when they were just searching around underneath the ring. They didn't even know where to go, where everything was. Like,
yeah. It was no story being told. It was like, okay,
right.
New woman, new weapon, new woman, new weapon, new woman, new weapon. It was like there was the fluidity of the match. It just seemed like really clunky. But boy, those Nia Jax chair shots she gave, those were real impressive, huh? That's getting a lot of buzz across the interweb.
They were saying she was giving out WCW Hulk Hogan chair shots.
Yeah, yes. If you know, you know. The whole thing just seemed kind of just a jumbled mess to me.
Right.
There was different times where, like, the women weren't in the right spot at the right time. Not to say that there was anything planned out, but, you know.
Right. Yeah, some people would call it botches. We would just say stuff that happens, in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, a botch would be that if it was planned out. I mean, this is completely on the fly. I don't understand why people think that this is a gimmicked, made up, or planned out match. I mean, this is just pure
real
animosity.
stuff. Yeah, we don't say the F word here. Yeah.
Either one.
Yeah, either
all three.
Oh, I mean. Yeah. I could probably think of a few more. I'll rattle them off now. Maybe I won't. Yeah, I thought there was going to be something, because when Tiffany Stratton went to come out the cage, Candice kind of screwed her, and came out first. She came first, so
I got you.
I thought something was going to go on in the ring with that, but nothing came of that. I wanted to shout out, I thought that Bianca Belair's attire was great, off the chain. And apparently somebody from 2K, I think, designed it, I believe, or like won a contest.
Oh, cool.
Or something like that. And
yeah. Because I saw him meet her backstage before the event. It was on
I didn't see that. I just had heard. Yeah. And then Rhea's attire, I thought, was awesome. Like, and the face paint and all that. And then what she was wearing.
Shout out Diablo 4. They had the Diablo 4 sponsor. In
is that what that was from?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I play a lot of Diablo, and I don't think there was any direct correlation, but it was just kind of cool how it fit.
Yeah, like when she had took off the mask, I got some vibes. I don't know what it was, like some type of
Prey. Yeah, it reminded me of the movie Prey, the Predator movie, where the girls were in the.
Yes. That's it. Yep. Yeah. Just too many weapons, but and saying what we said, like it wasn't that great and this and that, because there wasn't much story with it. But looking back at it, I guess they did the best with what they had. Kind of going into it like that, and I felt the MVP of the match was probably Io Sky.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, we've seen the dive with the trash can before. It's something that she does, but imagine the set of goads on her.
Yeah,
she probably doesn't have them, but like to not only put a trash can over your head, and she's barrel rolled off the cage before, but to do a moonsault completely blind.
Right.
First of all, moonsault's blind anyway. Yes. And then to put a trash can over your head and just go with it and just say what's going to happen is going to happen. I mean, shout out to Tiffany Stratton doing the swanton off the top. That was really, really kind of a cool dive.
Definitely. It was cool.
Yeah. So there was a lot of spots in the match that were not spots. There's a lot of moments in the match that were very very interesting and very compelling, but as a whole, I just felt like this is just not. It wasn't really for me.
And Tiffany grabbed the briefcase out of the trash can. She had it buried down in there with a bunch of other stuff, with the handcuffs, with the rope, with the whatever else was in there. I heard that trash can was kind of vibrating too and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of personal effects. Yeah,
there was a rose in there. Apparently, I don't know what that is.
If you think that's bad, you should see what's in the briefcase.
Oh, baby. Yeah, and she couldn't decide who she was going to cash in on again, and even Michael Cole and Corey Graves were like, I don't know how this is going to work if she pins. Like, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, yeah, good point.
Then she didn't have to make a decision. Well, Raquel Rodriguez came in.
Raquel.
I'm glad they didn't do Nia catching her again. That was getting old.
Yeah, she's just gonna do the Undertaker sit up thing again. Yeah, and then Io Sky came in with the fire extinguisher and
didn't hit anybody with it.
Blew the whole crowd. Yeah,
she did.
I mean, if I was in the front row, I would have been happy. Yeah.
And then when the dust cleared,
there was white stuff everywhere.
That's more than ropes. That was misting. She's very hydrated. So when the dust settled, it was revealed that Rhea Ripley had handcuffed Raquel Rodriguez to the rope.
That was good. I like that.
Yes.
That was clever. It was like a good ha moment. Like I didn't see it.
Right, because
the
of
camera was good.
The camera work, and because of the smoke, the fire extinguisher, it just all played out very well. The end of the match seemed a little too clunky, and
it just didn't add up right. Like, it just didn't kind of build. Like,
yes,
I didn't expect it to end like right when it did. I didn't have a problem with the ending, with how they did it. I just thought it kind of just, they did all the stuff, and then it just went to that ending point where she called her up, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I almost thought Liv was going to hit the oblivion on Rhea through that table for a second too. I really did. I didn't think it was going to be over.
There's a lot of people that I've read that were saying, "Oh, way to bury your women's champions by having them lose." Like, newsflash, the champions aren't always going to win.
Right.
Like, that's just a reality of a situation. Like, they don't have to win every single time.
They lost and they kept their title. So who really won in the end?
And Rhea had to get some sort of redemption on Liv, because since the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour started, it's all been one-sided. I mean, they had the handicap match the mixed tag match with Dom and Liv, and then Damien and Rhea, where they got the win. Yeah. But Rhea really needs to get some more traction back. And I don't like when people are like, "Oh, well, they're just booking her too strong," or whatever. Look at the reality of it. Mm-hmm. To look at, first of all, everything's real in wrestling, but look at Rhea's stature compared to Liv's stature. Mm-hmm. She's like twice her size. At some point, it's going to start becoming like overly like ridiculous that Liv's always coming out on top. Like, Rhea has to kind of even it out at some point.
And there's a reason Liv looked a little shook, and she had to go back and she had to grab that gemmed out, iced out, glammed out baseball bat.
Swinging that shit too.
She was swinging that bat. She knows how to put two hands on that thing.
On the wood, yeah.
Yeah,
Woo. Yeah, that was a tight
That's my
grip.
girl Liv, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's that Guac Guac 2000.
Whatever happened to the Hawk Tua girl, man? That 15 minutes of fame fizzled out real quick.
I think she's got a podcast.
We got a podcast. I mean, we're famous. I mean,
maybe she should get into wrestling. I mean,
no, please don't. She'd be more entertaining than Liv Morgan.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so at the end, like you said, Rhea Ripley got the riptide off the top rope through the table. 1, 2, 3. Team Rhea, Team Bianca, whatever they were calling it, got the win.
Yep. No mention or no show-ups or no interference from Jade Cargill at all. I mean, they mentioned that she couldn't make it, obviously, because she was injured and all that, but no mentions or hints as of who hurt her or what happened
done
to
it?
her. Who done it? And then also, if you look at it, Liv and Raquel had no help from the Judgment Day, no interference from like Dom, which didn't have a match, and the Judgment Day didn't even have a match. They couldn't come out and show some support or like interfere or, do anything to kind of catch Rhea off guard.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Dom wasn't there at all because we'll talk about it later, but there was WWE social media released a video backstage after the Damien Priest Gunther match, and Dom wasn't even there at all. So that's really, there's something brewing there underneath the surface that I think we picked up on a long time ago that's going to play out, but that's not what happened at Survivor Series, so I'm not going to dive into it. Like Io Sky diving off the top of the cage. What we will dive into was the second match of the night, the United States Championship. Shinsuke Nakamura challenged LA Knight for the United States title. This was a surprise.
Yeah.
All the way around for me. First of all, Shinsuke Nakamura's ring attire was phenomenal.
Yep.
That shit was so cool. He came out with the samurai look.
Yeah.
With the dark music, with the Japanese flag in the back. Oh, ooh.
They changed his music again, too. I thought this was the one they played last week. It wasn't. They changed it again.
Yeah, that's what happens. I mean, how much music has Bron Breakker gone through?
That's true, yeah. It was still good, but at least he got rid of the one with the rap song on with it. I forget that guy's name. Lil Uzi Vert. Oh, yeah, he's trash.
I was literally had no clue who it was, but I was going to say his name because it just popped in my head, but I didn't. Good job.
Yeah, but I didn't see it coming, and I was looking on like the IWC. I was on TikTok and all this and that, and a lot of people were saying they thought Shinsuke was going to win, and I wasn't buying into it, but boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
and I think there was something bigger at play here because right from the get-go, Corey Graves was trying to drive home the narrative that LA Knight wasn't on his game.
Right.
From LA Knight's entrance, like he went up on the ropes and did his thing, and then when he came down, he dropped the title. And Corey
somebody
Graves
said he dropped the belt.
Yeah, and Corey was like, "Oh, man, something's not right with LA Knight tonight. He's off his game. He's just a little bit shook." He's like, "What?" And they played that narrative throughout the match. And as I was like watching it and listening, I said, "Boy, something's a little bit off here."
Yeah,
it was
a few cents short of being a squash match.
Yes. LA Knight went to do the jump up on the top rope and he fumbled it a little bit. And again, Corey Graves drove home the point.
Yep.
Oh, LA Knight's just not on his game tonight. He's just not feeling it tonight. And it's like, I kept hearing that and I said, why?
Yeah.
Is that narrative being pushed? And,
did it have to do with the poison mist? Is there something else going on backstage or in LA Knight's life or something that's going on that he has to step away from the title? I heard people talking about that they wanted Shinsuke to win because they want LA Knight to move on from that title so he can move up to like the World Heavyweight title or the championship, which I don't quite understand because he's on SmackDown and that would mean Cody, and I don't know.
I also heard that LA Knight's more interesting when he's chasing a title.
Right.
Not with the title. So Shinsuke winning just for LA Knight to come back and try to get his redemption and come back and win the title back.
Right.
Yeah. But boy, Shinsuke looked good in this match. I'm not taking anything away from Shinsuke Nakamura. He looked menacing and was laying his shit in, and like the overall his like I hate using the word, but the aura that was around him in this match was really something. And I'm a Shinsuke Nakamura fan, so to see him like kind of doing this and to get the win was, I think at the end of the day, Nakamura needed the win more than LA Knight needs the win.
That's true.
LA Knight's
back
over with the crowd.
Yep.
Yeah, Shinsuke, his last few returns have been kind of fumbled.
Yeah,
not really overproduced and stuff. So
yeah, this new look they got going for him is fresh for sure compared to like what he was doing before. So that's good.
It was awesome. It was, the Kinshasa for the finisher. I don't even think LA Knight got a 2 count for a pin at all in this match.
Nah, he barely got any offense in. It was not close.
Maybe he just needs to take some time off preparing for the Rumble. Maybe.
Yes. Nakamura did the like reverse suplex to him off of the top rope.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And he landed right on his face. Oof.
Right on his face. Yeah. That's such a good move. I remember when, Nakamura came to the WWE and did that thing to John Cena and laid John Cena out with that. I think it was on Raw or whatever it was, or SmackDown. Yeah, that move. No, but off the top of the rope, crazy. Yeah. I think LA had no chance in the match. No chance.
I think people underestimate how big Shinsuke Nakamura was built when he came into WWE. Like what they built him as and what he was supposed to be. And he just never really got his footing in the WWE. And I'm not mad at this at all. Like, I'm not like
no.
Him winning the title. I mean, there's a little bit of language barrier and stuff for promos and things like that, but overall,
he deserves it.
Right.
Yeah.
I can see why
squandered
they
him.
did it.
They squandered him. He came in, he had won the Royal Rumble way back, went to WrestleMania and lost against AJ Styles. Like that should have been his time to win and go over. And
And then he was with Boog for a while and kind of lost his way. And if this is the way Shinsuke's got to come back and make a resurgence, I'm here for it.
Yeah, so he's back.
Go.
What is he? 2-3-time United States champion now, I think. Yeah,
Yep.
So let's go. Nakamura, congratulations. He's back. Yeah, come on. Yeah, it was good.
Oh boy. What else was good? The Intercontinental title match was next. It was our man Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus versus the champion Bron Breakker for the IC title. I like how technically they could use both rings for any match, but they keep it centric on one ring. So the fans, if there's a match in one ring, the fans on the other side don't really get to see much. So the next match took place over there to kind of.
Oh, okay, that's true. Bit. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. That makes sense. Yeah. The camera did a good job of, like, during the singles matches too, of not like showing it and like keeping it contained to
right. Yeah. But boy, Bron Breakker is a dog, bro.
Yeah, crazy.
He all three of them. This match was just hard hitting. Look at the size disparity between Bron Breakker, Sheamus, and then Ludwig Kaiser.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaiser held his own in this match. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
You would not believe, man.
Yeah, it was a great match. They all did their thing. I thought they all had a chance to win at one point. Like, they put on a performance. Like, they almost stole the show, honestly. Like, all the matches were pretty great. I don't know. It's a toss-up for me, but damn, Bron Breakker stole the show, just keeps getting better. Triple H had even talked about it in the post-show press conference or whatever. You just can't believe he just came in here and he's already like a veteran, the way he acts and conducts himself. And
like you would, to your point earlier.
Yeah.
So you thought at one point all three could have a chance to win, and that's my issue with triple threat matches, multi-man matches, multi-woman matches, whatever, is that there's always that one outlier that it's like, okay, they're not going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, they're just there to eat the pin or something. But at certain points in this match, I was like, oh shit, Sheamus is about to win this.
Yes.
Oh shit, Kaiser's about to win this. I text you, yo, Kaiser's got this. And then
and then them spears, dude, cutting people in half.
Did you see when they were outside in front of the announcer's table and it was Sheamus and Kaiser were wrestling, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, like Bron Breakker just did like this like dive.
Yes. Yep.
Like it looked like a spear, but he was up at their heads. Like,
right.
I don't know what the hell. This guy is insane, man.
He's an insane athlete, man. He's just so dope. Yeah.
It's just intense. It's hard not to cheer for him. I think they tried to build him up as a heel, but
I don't think at this point it's almost impossible because he's like over because he's just so good. Like,
And I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't have been mad at him losing this because it's too early to have him shoot up to the world title picture. But if they did, I wouldn't be mad at it.
No, not at all. Yeah.
It's just he's got everything. I mean,
he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there someday for sure, without a doubt. Yeah,
that is a future world champion. Yes.
Yep.
Ludwig Kaiser, like I said, impressed me. He held his own for his size. He can still make it believable that he is gonna put a bigger wrestler in peril. Like it's not like him doing something and you're like, okay, here we go. Like the way he moves and how he's so like
cerebral.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
Yep.
It just that gives the credibility that like he's actually doing this. This isn't just like, okay, this little guy getting put over. Like
you
can believe that
all.
Kaiser's menacing. Yeah.
Come out with that entrance too and just exactly.
He looked like he got into Diddy's closet with the amount of baby oil he uses.
Oh yeah,
he's glistening.
He took it from Tiffy.
Yeah, he is glistening.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that. Yeah. That's very true.
That must be like a slip and slide with them two. Like,
yeah. Kaiser's toys are in the briefcase.
Benoit balls. Shout out to Blink 182. Tom DeLonge, baby.
Oh man, yeah. So at the end of the match, Kaiser really gave it to Sheamus with the Shillelagh.
Yeah,
he went to go in the ring to finish the match up. What was it? Sheamus gave a brogue kick to Kaiser, turns around, gets the spear. 1, 2, 3. Bron Breakker retains the Intercontinental title. I would say the right person won, but like I said, out of all three of them would have been the right person. Like I wouldn't have been mad at anybody winning this match, but Bron Breakker retaining it and adding some credibility, I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
The dogs are barking.
Oh. Let's go.
I'm becoming a Bron Breakker fan, dude. I wanted to hate him because of his dastardly deeds that he has done in the past, but it's hard to hate him.
Yep.
The World Heavyweight Championship. Our friend DP.
Oh yeah.
Got to get his revenge rematch on the World Heavyweight Champion. Gunther. And before I move on, I gotta say I'm sorry to the IWC because I've put down Samantha Irvin's announcing quite a bit.
Yeah.
This new one, man.
I knew she had it in her.
What did she have in her?
Not Ricochet. Apparently, not Ricochet, but I don't know.
Oh my goodness. The announcing of the wrestlers took longer than the entrance for the wrestlers. Boy.
She's trying to fill the shoes.
That's right.
She's trying to, Yeah.
Oh boy. But yeah, so we had Damien Priest versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. This was built off the premise that Damien Priest lost to Gunther because of the Judgment Day interfering.
Yeah.
Hey, you might be the ring general, but in these streets, I'm king. Well, then why don't you challenge him to a street fight? Would have probably made sense with that line.
Hey, Gunther, you want to go in a street fight in the Bronx?
Yeah.
Outside Yankee Stadium,
You want to go in my neighborhood?
Yeah.
It'll be a whole different outcome with this. You understand me?
You come down to the Bronx. Come down to the South Bronx. Yeah. You go up to Washington Heights.
I love it. In the Heights.
Yeah.
Damien Priest probably listens to musicals in his free time. Yeah, this was... I don't want to say my least favorite match because the Women's WarGames is definitely that, but there wasn't as much. I think
we've seen it a lot. They did great. They did great. There was nothing wrong with it, but it was just kind of like, it was definitely an old school type of match too.
Slow pace.
That's what Gunther does, and that's what Damien Priest does. And like Gunther had said, like after the show too, like he really respects Damien Priest and what he can do, and that he's come into his own, and that he has gained his respect even more, and that he don't think he's street trash anymore. Even though he still does. But they did good. I thought they had some good moments in the match, but I don't think it was that like memorable, like anything I can really remember off the top of my head right now, unless I go back and watch it again. Right.
Yeah.
One of the parts I remember was when DP was holding on to the rope and Gunther just snapped his arm right off there, and that started the arm injury or wrist injury or whatever, which was good, which played into it. But man, that was quite the kick to his wrist.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of times a body part being worked as well as they worked in this match. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of hard hitting, the razor's edge, the power bombs Gunther gives are just.
Yep.
That snap is just absolutely crazy.
The chops.
And
he brought out the Kimura.
Right. Ooh, yes. And even the triangle choke, I believe.
Triangle,
Damien put on Gunther. But you got to remember, too, like, it was hard to follow the IC title, the US, or even the Women's War Games. It was hard to follow any of those matches. Like, there were just three, for what the crowd was into, there was three boom, boom, boom matches. And then this one was a slow, methodical kind of match, which might have taken the air out of the building a little bit. But
trying to follow up their old matches, too. It's
Yeah, but I don't think it was a bad match.
No.
I think I was so pumped from the mid-card title matches. Like they just beyond exceeded my expectations. So this match, I was just kind of And this had to be kind of a cool down match because of what was coming up next. Now I saw something. So to go to the finish, Damien Priest fell off the ropes, fell to the outside. A lot of people thought it was like a
botch.
A botch.
Right.
Yeah. But it really wasn't because it played out.
Right.
The referee was checking on Gunther in the ring, and here came Finn Balor to come and
I'm going to jump off the steps.
They give the coup de grace.
Yeah.
And which I liked how this was because Finn Balor said way back when, I'm going to wait until you completely forget about me, and that's when I'm going to strike.
Woo.
Damien Priest has moved on from all that. He's moved on from the whole judgment, as we thought. We thought he had moved on from it, but this was the perfect time for Finn Balor to come back and do the coup de grace. And Gunther wasn't too happy about that. Gunther saw what happened, and he was pissed off.
Oh, he leveled Finn on the outside afterwards. Yeah.
Yes. And came in. There was a little bit of a kerfuffle, and Gunther got the sleeper hold. Damien went out, lights out. I saw on the internet,
he went limp.
The worst part of DP is when you go limp.
Yeah, I mean, Gunther saved his respect with the crowd too. You know, taking out Finn, and because he wants to win honorably, you know, and by himself, he's all these times. You know, there's been interference and stuff, and that's just the type of guy that Gunther is too. Like we even see it with Ludwig Kaiser. You know, he don't even want his help. So
now I saw a lot of rumblings of people that thought it shouldn't have been Finn, and this should have been the returning Drew McIntyre to screw over Damien Priest.
Yeah, I mean, if that's where they're gonna go next with DP and DM Hunk, that's what they could have done. But I guess they're saving Drew McIntyre for something else.
Yeah.
Do we? And that's the thing. Like, it's like, here we go again. Damien Priest already messed up. The DP already messed up the Finn Balor before, right? So now he's got to go back and do it again and get his revenge. Like, when is this gonna stop?
Right.
Retaliation. You know, it's just like at some point they're gonna be like, well, who even started this? Like, where did this even come from? Why are we still fighting? Like,
yeah, and at a certain point, it's almost like you feel bad for Damien Priest, like they don't have anything for him right now. So let's go revisit the Judgment Day thing. Right. But in a lot of ways, this could be not an outlet, but another way to get the Terror Twins back together because they've been separated a little bit.
Yeah. And this could be the downfall of the Judgment Day too now, to really break them apart. Because if we do see like a rift and a snap with like the Liv part and the Dom and Finn and we see a breakup there, and then we have Damien Priest watching it, and we kind of get that interaction with him being part of that. And
I'm glad you mentioned that too, because I mentioned earlier. So you mentioned earlier during the Women's War Games, there was no Judgment Day that came out.
Mm-hmm.
Finn Balor came out, cost Damien Priest the title, and then there was a WWE exclusive online that Finn was walking to his car and Damien jumped him in the back. I don't know if you saw this.
No, I didn't. I did not.
So there's a video online that Finn's walking to his car. Damien jumps him in the parking lot, starts beating him up, and then Carlito and JD McDonough come in to kind of save Finn Balor and get Damien away from him. But there was no Dominic Mysterio there.
No, okay.
And I said, this is kind of them saying something without saying something. I'll have to look it back. Maybe he was there, but he wasn't attacking or trying to help Finn at all.
Yeah, you want to do this in the streets of Vancouver? We could do this in the streets of Vancouver. You want this DP on the street?
In the streets. The DP.
I'll give you the DP in Canada too. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really interesting because you and I have been talking about maybe some dissension in the ranks.
Yep.
In the Judgment Day, and
yeah, because Finn's been talking down to Dirty Dom lately, and I ain't having it. Not cool.
Yeah, I don't. In the little facials that Dom's been giving have been really interesting.
Yeah.
The whole thing just kind of looks to me maybe that there's going to be some sort of split. I don't know, a soft split, if you will, I guess. But
yeah,
I don't think Dominic's really on board with what's going on with the Judgment Day right now. I think he's realizing that Finn's probably tickling Liv's touch hole, and it just isn't sitting well with him.
Yeah,
it wouldn't sit well with me either.
Yeah, to see where they're going to end up with Liv and Raquel and all that, and with Finn and how that's going to play out.
Yeah,
we will see.
But what we did see next.
Woo!
Are you all ready? We're ready for WarGames.
WarGames.
The Bloodline Civil War is at its peak. Man, oh man. We had the Bloodline. They're calling them the Bloodline against the OG Bloodline.
When I first saw them come out together, I was like, yes, it makes sense. We don't have to do each individual music. I was like, that's what I was clicking in my head. I was like, okay, they're all going to come out together. This is good. This is good. Yeah.
Yeah. All dressed all in black, ready to go. A cohesive unit. I would have liked to see the OG Bloodline kind of come out together. Not necessarily Punk, but the rest of them come out together. We still haven't seen them all well, we did when they did the face-off with the new Bloodline, but to have them enter into a big-time match like this would have been great solidarity.
It caught me off guard when they came out, like the order.
Yes.
I didn't quite understand it, and then I did afterwards, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Who came out first? Was it Sami? Or was it
Sami came out, then
Sami
Jimmy,
came out, then Jimmy.
Punk.
Then when Punk's music came on third, I was like, "Whoa, hold up a second. What are we doing here? What's going on here?
Punk's the main event. What are we doing?"
Yeah, exactly. What the hell? Yeah, like
tell me when I'm telling lies.
I was confused. Yeah, but and then we got Roman, and I'm like, what? Yeah.
Jay's gonna be the last guy coming out,
right? He is main event, Jey Uso, but like you said, it made sense.
Yes,
it made sense because Jay came out through the crowd. Jay's got the most popping song. Everybody was yeeting everywhere, and he was the first to go into the cage.
Yes, correct.
So they could milk his song and play it louder, and everybody could yeet, and he could run through the audience and have more crowd interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you see when Tama Tonga got into the cage and he like scaled around the side of it and was?
That was great. Oh yeah, and we forgot about before the match started. They did the college football the NFL or whatever it was introductions of like what college they're from or where they went or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I thought it was entertaining. I was like, what the hell is going on? But it was fun.
Tonga Loa was the only person that mentioned a real university. Everybody else was like Tsunami University. And he was like, oh, LSU.
He didn't quite get the memo. Yeah.
Tonga Loa is a national treasure, man.
School of
And also, before the match started, the new Bloodline was in their cage while the entrances for the OG Bloodline. And Punk came out and he started it off early. He didn't give off.
Yeah, he went reaching in the cage after Jacob Fatu or whoever, and he got them all riled up and pissed off. That was good. He had some fire there, like getting started.
As soon as that happened, I said that if there was any thoughts or ideas of there being a dissension with Punk in this match, that just all went out the window right there. Mm-hmm. He was all in, invested in this match. He was pissed off. He had to go. He had something to fight for, and he had the most fire out of anybody for the OG side coming out. He was ready for it to start without it even starting.
Oh yeah, he came to play for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the match started. Tama Tonga, Jey Uso. I think a lot of people said it was a little too slow, maybe a little too calculated. This whole pace of this match, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was
pretty good. Yeah.
A lot of the story was being told outside the ring in the holding cages more than in the ring until the WarGames actually begun. Mm-hmm. Punk and Roman not trusting each other, always kind of staring each other down.
Yeah, there's going to be some great memes coming from those pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, them standing on each side of the cage, and Roman kind of giving Punk the side eye, and Punk's just like, not entertaining it. Yeah.
The heels getting the advantage made a lot of sense.
Yes.
Jimmy getting beat down by Tama, and then Bronson Reed when he came in, then Jimmy coming in and we haven't seen the full
Usos
redemption kind of getting back together, banding back together. We've seen them kind of talking and stuff, but in the ring in this moment was really big. We saw the triple threat at Crown Jewel, or the six-man at Crown Jewel, but this just really meant a lot. I think Jimmy coming to rescue his brother after all the animosity. The cage opened for the new Bloodline, and Tonga Loa started to come out, and Solo stopped him and sent in the werewolf. No, man, let him handle business.
And he handled business. Like, it was the Bloodline 2.0 was winning that match 75% of the time.
Yes.
Oh yeah, at least like they were cleaning the house. Like Jay went in first, and Jay was wrecked by the end of it. Like before the match even started, like before they even were all in there, Jay was at 0%. Like oof.
But that's part of telling the story that I really enjoyed. The cage opened up. CM Punk was about to walk out. Roman Reigns stopped him, sent Sami Zayn in. Yeah. And then they were both leaning on the cage, looking at each other, pissed off. That's the meme you were talking about. Yep. Sami Zayn looked good in this match.
Yes.
I think he understood the volume, like how high level like this match was supposed to be, and he played the part really well. Like you said, Bloodline 2.0 just kept getting the advantage, though.
Yeah.
Kept beating down the OG Bloodline and just kept making it almost like, how are they going to overcome this? How is this going to be?
Yeah.
How is this going to be overcame? And then the cage opened. Yeah. Tonga Loa came in, and I just said, it's over.
Yeah.
You don't even need Solo to come in. Tonga Loa is going to hold it down.
And I'm just waiting for some type of botch from Tonga Loa. I was just waiting. Like, I just love it. I love when he botches now.
I can't believe you. He looks amazing. The way he slid those tables in the ring, it's just top notch. Yeah. So then we had the 4-on-3 beatdown. Sammy, Jimmy, and Jay were just getting the business. And then the cage opened, and Roman went to step out, and Punk.
Oh yeah, Punk cut him off. Cut him off like I-95 traffic on the West Side Highway.
I got to hear your thoughts about Punk entering the WarGames, because this had me pumped right up.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it was good. So he walks down and like the OG Bloodline is completely destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bloodline 2.0 is just waiting for him in the middle of the ring. Steps onto the stairs, looks back at Roman, and looks at the Bloodline 2.0, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Like, and that's when I first thought he sacrificed himself. He's like, "I'm going into battle. I'm going into war for you now." Because he looked back at Roman, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm going in." Because at first you were like, "Oh my god, is he gonna turn around? Is he about to back out?" Like he kind of sold it good with the drama, but no, he did turn around, but he didn't turn around to leave. He went under the ring, and when you saw what he grabbed the red toolbox. That was for splitting Drew McIntyre wide open. And Michael Cole and Corey Graves sold it so well, saying, you know what happened last time Punk had that toolbox.
Yes.
And he proceeded to level everybody with the toolbox.
Bro, so good.
Yeah.
And I didn't pick that up until you just said that, and I'm so over the moon that you brought up that point about him looking back at Roman like, "Hey, look, I'm doing this for you." Like I didn't even pick that up as being like a moment until you just brought that up. That's so cool. Like everybody thought, is Punk gonna say screw this and just leave? Yeah. But he was looking back like, "Yo, look at like
I'm going in against these.
This is what I'm doing for you." Like,
Oh,
I didn't even look at it like that. I'm so glad you pointed that out.
Yeah.
Wow, that's big. He came in, he leveled everybody with the toolbox. I mean, he was laying waste until he went to slam. Was it a bulldog onto?
He hit everybody with the knee in the corner. And then he hit Jacob Fatu in the knee with the corner, went to hit him with the bulldog, hit him with the bulldog on the red toolbox, and Jacob Fatu just no-sold it. Sprung right up, caught him with the pop-up Samoan drop, Samoan slam, and he was out for a little bit.
Man.
Yeah, it was good. People were mad about Jacob not selling that, but I thought it was a good move, good spot. I liked it. That's what he does too.
That's a tidbit for wrestling history that Samoans have unnaturally hard heads. Like, if you look back at the head shrinkers back in the 90s, or even the Wild Samoans, when someone went to headbutt them, they would get hurt. Like their heads are overly hard.
True. Yeah.
That's just a part of like wrestling lore. And if you don't understand that, I'm sorry you're a second year watcher, but like if you dive back in the lore and the history of wrestling, that's what that is.
And that's what Jacob Fatu does too. Like that's his thing. It's not like they were all doing it. It's not like he did it all match, because he absolutely did not, but
he sold a lot in this match.
Yeah. When Punk, he sold a lot. Yeah. When Punk came in though, it was just great. The build, the drama, the look back to Roman, the toolbox, and then getting taken out by Jacob Fatu was good. Art, baby, art.
And then Solo Sikoa came in, and they already had the advantage. There was just 3 minutes of a beatdown.
Went and taunted Roman before he went in too.
Yes.
Then he locked the cage. Said, Roman, you're not getting in."
It was just a wild concept that it was just a 3-minute beatdown, while Roman just had to sit there and watch his guys get beat down for 3 minutes. And again, such storytelling. Yeah. Roman having to sit there and humble himself and watch his family and CM Punk, who's kind of like the hired gun, all just being taken out, and there's nothing he can do. And he was just sitting there watching and watching. The clock finally went off. Roman Reigns came out. Like you said, the cage door was chain closed. He was going to get in there.
I was wondering what he was going to do at first. If he was going to rip the door off, if they were going to pull a spot like that or what. But
the way they did it was great. The timing of everything was great. How everybody came up and he was hitting him down as he was coming in. Everybody kind of knew where they were supposed to be. Yeah.
Yes.
Finally got into the cage. He did a flying crossbody on all 5 of them.
Yeah.
And it was like holy shit, Roman's taking him on all by himself. Like this is what he wanted. This is what he feels in his head. He's the tribal chief. He needs to do this. And he started getting the upper hand until he didn't get the upper hand.
Yeah.
And this is where the story really got told to me.
Things got interesting. Yeah.
Yes. Because
yeah.
Go ahead.
Things got jumbled. I mean, as far as what happened when, I mean, I had to think about it. I'm not totally sure, but I think it was not long after that Roman was going to hit the spear on one of them. I don't know who it was.
Jacob Fatu. On Solo Sikoa.
On Solo. And Punk was about to GTS Jacob Fatu. And they got mixed up and they got bumped or whatever. And Roman hit the spear on CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little like, the spot of it. But it going on later, it made sense and it played into the story and everything. And it happened early and you're like, oh shit, are they going to have friction now? And so it made sense.
Yeah, because before that, because Roman beat up the new Bloodline, went over to the other ring, and he picked up Jimmy and Jay and Sammy.
Got everybody up. Yep.
Yeah, and then walked by Punk. CM Punk, and then they were kind of face to face, and then here comes Paul Heyman. No!
Yeah.
I got the WarGames. I was like, that's the corny.
Oh yeah, because it started so perfectly. Yes. Because they had it planned perfectly, or they didn't have it planned. Paul just, he's on his timing is impeccable. Yeah. He came out. Yeah, it was like the unofficial start of WarGames was Paul Heyman saying, "This is WarGames." Like, you guys gotta have. He said, "He's the best in the world. You're the tribal chief. You guys got to bring the best out of each other and win. This is WarGames." And then they come on the microphone. The announcer comes on. They start the bell. Then they slowly make it to the to the middle of the ring, middle of the rings, and meet each other, and the drama ensues and starts, and then that's when we had got the spear, I think, right to the and the GTS. Yeah.
And there was so many underlying stories that, like I said, people that are sitting here watching are just like, oh, well, there was so much being told. Like you said, Roman giving the spear to CM Punk. Oh no, is that going to be the dissension in the ranks?
Right.
Then shortly after, Roman getting knocked down, put on the table. Bronson Reed went up to the top rope to do a tsunami off the top of the cage to do a tsunami on Roman.
Crazy.
But who was the one that saved him? CM Punk risked himself to save Roman to get him out of there. Hey, listen, we're in this together. Sammy and the Usos kind of doing their little redemption arc, being back on the same page.
Yep.
This whole thing was like, CM Punk was down on the ground. Roman Reigns lifted him up at a certain point in the match.
Yeah.
This was, and I told you this off camera, but this was the beginning. For me, it was the beginning of the Roman Reigns babyface.
Right.
Roman Reigns still wasn't babyface. He told Jay a while back, "I'm proud of you." Right. He hasn't humbled himself. Look at the face-to-face with him and CM Punk. Look at Roman Reigns sitting there telling Paul Heyman, "The tribal chief doesn't wait. I don't wait." Blah, 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 blah. He's still that arrogant tribal chief, and he hasn't humbled himself. This match, he humbled himself.
Yeah, and I think going back to the beginning, I mean, old Roman Reigns would have made them all come out together under his music, right? Mm-hmm. And Jay wouldn't have been playing his music and coming out last.
Yes.
Yeah, and taking the spotlight, So it absolutely. And like you said, and Bronson Reed, man, when he climbed to the top, just to the ropes, I was like, oh snap, he's going to put Roman through that table. No, he went all the way up to the top of that cage. Mm-hmm. I gained a lot of respect for Bronson Reed, over these past few weeks and months now. I wasn't quite feeling him at first, but now, especially going through that table and taking that, putting his body through that and sacrificing from the top of that cage, the WarGames cage, through the table, insane, crazy.
And then on the
hurt
flip
himself
side,
too, I believe.
Yeah, and then on the flip side of it, you look at Jimmy was fighting. Jimmy looked great in this match, by the way. I don't want to take away from anything, but Jimmy Uso looked all the way back in this match, and it was really impressive. Yep. But he was fighting with Jacob Fatu, and Jacob set up the table, and Jey Uso came and saved him, threw Jacob Fatu on the table. Jimmy went up to the top of the cage on the other side and did a Uso splash.
Yeah.
Onto Jacob Fatu, essentially taking him out of the match.
Took him out. Yeah.
There was one spot that Jacob Fatu slipped on the ropes and fell, but he sold his leg.
Yes. We thought he was hurt. You thought he blew his quad or his ACL or whatever it was. Yeah, he went to do the pop-up moonsault on the ropes on CM Punk, and he slipped on the rope. And apparently he just decided to sell it at that point.
So
it wasn't planned, allegedly, and I thought he was hurt. Like, he was looked like he was in agony, like the whole match too. Not that, but like laid there for like 2 minutes, just like holding his hamstring or whatever it was. Like, impressive, man. And just like come off with that on the fly.
Yes.
Like to improvise. I'm so that's the first thing when I woke up this morning. I went and checked online, Jacob Fatu injury, and they said he's fine.
Yeah. And to think, like you said, to have on the fly, to think of that. And then the rest of the match, he sold it. He was limping the rest of the match. It wasn't just like, oh, and then he was better. Like,
right.
That was such a professional move.
So for people to talk crap and say that he no-selled for the Punk thing, you know what I'm saying? And then he goes on and does this, and it makes so much sense because he's such like a force. But now it evens the odds because he's injured. You know what I'm saying? That ultimately gets him put through the table, which Jimmy that was an amazing Uso splash through the table off the top of the cage. He broke his toe, I believe, and I think Bronson Reed had hurt his ankles. Or I think that's what they said, and that was the only injury, major injuries out of it, which is good. But
and then
it's not too bad.
It boiled down to the new Bloodline was taken out. Solo was standing alone.
Yeah.
Like I said, Roman was the one at the end who picked everybody up.
Yep.
The Usos, Sami Zayn got in the ring. He picked up CM Punk. They're all surrounding Solo. 1 super kick, 2 super kick, haluva kick, go to sleep, spear, 1, 2, 3. The OG Bloodline wins the WarGames.
Yeah, amazing. Such a good ending too. The way that they did it, like it was movie-esque. It was cinema. Like, Roman. Solo had got up and they were surrounding him. And Roman's, I wish we had the full audio of what he said or you could understand everything, but he's like, this is what you want. I think it was like, this is what you wanted. This is what it's come to. I almost got like that Walking Dead scene with like Negan with the baseball bat and they're all like around, like it's just him though. And you're like, you're screwed now. Like now it's time for retribution. This is it. Revenge, baby.
Yeah.
This is your reckoning. Like, woo.
That's it. And it was like just beautifully done.
Every finisher, perfect. Boom. Like, flowed perfectly too. Like,
the go to sleep was a little bit.
Yeah, he had to kind of get him off the first time. Yeah. When he got him off the second time, his knee connected.
He got him off more than once?
Yeah, definitely. the knee hit though. The knee hit where it was supposed to hit.
The end of the match, Roman hugs all 3 of the Bloodline. I love the love that Roman Reigns was giving Sami during this match.
Yep.
There was one point in the match where he went over and just started like rubbing Sami's head, like in the middle of the match, like just like playing like.
Okay. Yeah.
The love that Roman was giving Sami throughout this match, it was really great to see. But he gave Jimmy a hug, he gave Jay a hug, he gave Sami a hug. Those 3 went over to CM Punk. They dapped up. They hugged each other.
They hugged, yeah. And Roman was all alone when they were hugging. He was looking, and he was like,
And then they went to a replay of the match, and I was like,
yeah, are we gonna miss like this interaction between Punk and Roman? Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
But then it came back, and the ultimate show of respect, man. That handshake was reciprocated.
Yep. They had to talk him into it. They had to, Sami was in Roman's ear. Jay and Jimmy were like, "Come on," and Roman's like, "Yep, you're right."
Yeah.
Roman put out his hand first too.
Yes.
Yep.
And when people were like, "Oh, is there going to be any sort of turn? Is there going to be any sort of whatever. This was like, it didn't need it. This moment didn't need it. Like,
Yeah.
CM Punk went there to do what he needed to do and do a favor for Paul.
Yeah.
The Bloodline needed their redemption. The story was there. We don't need anything extracurricular. We don't need Punk turning around and stabbing Roman in the back, or we don't need The Rock coming out. We don't need Brock Lesnar coming out. Like, this is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just wants more and more and more. Why can't you just appreciate what this moment was? And then when they went to leave the cage, CM
Good
Punk
moment.
was the first one out.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't the first one out, but he was the first one between him and Roman.
Right.
And Paul Heyman was standing there. And he gave Paul Heyman a hug. And did you hear what he said to him?
Yeah, he said, when I need that favor, I'm going to come
Well,
ask
before
him.
that,
Okay.
he said, Paul said to CM Punk, they hugged, and Paul said to CM Punk, I owe you.
Oh, okay.
And CM Punk said to him, Paul, I owe you.
Ooh.
And that's was like an ultimate sign of. Then he said, "I'm going to come for that favor."
Yep.
But that was just such a real. Like, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it because it was such a real moment, because Paul Heyman believed in CM Punk years ago when no one else believed in CM Punk.
Yeah, true.
So
yeah.
I think that
if
was just a real moment.
Yeah, if none of this would be possible or happened if it wasn't for Paul Heyman back then. And Paul Heyman played it so good that whole match when he was out there, like, you know, when they had shook hands first in the ring, Roman and Punk, he's over in like the corner, like outside the cage. like he knows how to find his spots perfectly with the camera, just to be in it. Yeah. And to wait outside the cage, like you said, and embrace Punk, and then the favor, and then Roman comes out and
they embrace,
you know, rubs him on the head and gives him some love that we haven't really seen quite like that before with them. And yeah, I thought Roman and Paul were going to hug for a second too. Yeah. But
there's respect there. I don't think there's any sort of turning going with the wise man. I think this is just is what it is. And people that were trying to dig out, trying to put out all of these theories just to be the one that was right. Like, sorry, you're mistaken, but the Bloodline's back and better than ever. The new Bloodline's in shambles, and then that opens up the opportunity for they need to go find more help to kind of get over the hump.
Yeah, and that now they were walking out towards the entrance. I'm like, okay, are we gonna get the Rock entrance now or something? Is there something gonna happen? No, it just led to the ultimate photo opportunity.
Shout out LFC.
The Wyatt Six must have been very jealous because the Bloodline, the OG Bloodline, and CM Punk got their ultimate photo opportunity with all of them putting their ones up, and CM Punk kind of slid in between.
Yes.
And that moment will live forever. Man, I got to get me a shout out to Martina. I got to get a picture of that and put it on my wall, right? Mm-hmm. Like, amazing. Yeah.
Beautiful thing, man. And the whole, like I said, what we said in our prediction video, right?
Yeah.
I don't like predicting everything 100% correct, because then there's no surprise, there's no whatever. The ultimate surprise for me during this PLE is that there was no surprises at the end.
Right.
Seth Rollins didn't come out. There was no turn, like I said, no Rock, no Brock, no whatever. It just let it breathe and let that moment be what it is. What a moment this was.
Right. And we were thinking, would we be underwhelmed if The Rock didn't show up, or Brock Lesnar, or Ryback? Give me a break. But if The Rock didn't show up, you know, and turns out, no, absolutely not. Like, the ending was great, perfect, didn't need anything else, didn't need to be overshadowed by anybody else. It was amazing. Yeah. Great. Like you said. Yep.
5 stars, Dave.
5 stars. Yep.
But yeah, boy, oh boy, that was Survivor Series. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. Obviously, the next big thing that's going to happen in WWE is the Netflix turnover in January. I don't think there's any other PLEs in the rest of the
Saturday Night Main Event.
Oh, Saturday Night Main Event. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes,
some people are saying we might get like Roman versus Solo or versus Jacob Fatu in like tribal warfare match, maybe, or something. Maybe for the Uba Fala.
Okay.
Finally, because, you know, we were talking about that. Should he get that? at the end or something. But maybe that should be like a singles match where he just takes it from Solo. But
yes.
With
That
Paul
should be his
Heyman.
final.
And that shit. But he might have to take the Uber Fala from The Rock at WrestleMania. Maybe The Rock's gonna take that Uber Fala from Solo and be like, that's really mine, man. Like, who knows?
Could you imagine?
And then the favor with CM Punk and Paul Heyman. We were trying to think, like, what is the favor? Like, from the sit down we had saw. I don't think he knows what the favor is yet. No, I think it's just when it comes to time, I'm gonna ask for that. Like,
when I need a favor, I got one in my back pocket. I think that was kind of
so. That's long-term storytelling. That's what's great about it, because they can use it for whatever now. It's not like something that's already predetermined, and like.
Yeah. Or you look at back in like old mafioso mob kind of mentality days and stuff like that. Hey, someday, and that day may never come, I may call on you to do a favor for me, like.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I got one. I got one now,
Yep.
And it explained why Punk was there without having to complicate the fart, just that's why he was there. Poof.
Another good Punk match, and he's back, baby. Yeah. Right. No injuries. Again.
That's
right. For all the haters. Yeah.
That's right.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's hard to work with backstage. He's the problem.
Oh, yeah. And then a little post-show press conference, him coming out, with Jay, Sammy, Jimmy, and all them. Mm-hmm. That was funny. Yeah.
A lot of good.
No comment. Yeah. But we'll see where it takes us now with Monday Night Raw. Yeah. We don't know. We didn't get any interaction from Seth Rollins either. No Seth Rollins. We got to see how that's going to play. Where's Punk going to go next? Where's the Bloodline going to go next? Where's Sammy going to go next with the Usos? Where are they going to go next and how? Like, it's all up in the air. We don't know.
Man, the one thing I do know is we don't know, and that's what's so beautiful about professional wrestling. I don't know, and I'm excited to see what happens next.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Shout out to everybody out there that watched Survivor Series WWE WarGames. Yeah. We enjoyed it. We hope everybody did too. Let us know what your review of it was. We'd like to know.
And before we go, I'm just going to rattle off some people left some comments. We put out a thing on X about leaving your comments, what you thought about WarGames. I'll just rattle them off real quick.
Yeah.
Before we head out. It said, now that Survivor Series WarGames has ended, let us know your thoughts. First comes from, Martina Barnett.
Yeah.
Wrestle Tina B. Shout out. It's really great to see her commenting on it. It says, I'm pleased that all my predictions came true. This was my second favorite PLE of the year next to SummerSlam. This main event was better than WrestleMania in my opinion.
Ooh, okay. I agree because Punk was part of it.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Disagree. It was really good. A lot more compelling. It made sense. The stuff at the end of the WrestleMania main event didn't really make sense to me.
I can't wait to rewatch it. The main event.
Thank you for your comment. Drinking Wrestling League at DWL 2024 just put a bunch of beer mug emojis and said, I'm a little up.
Yeah, they were getting started early. Like the pre-show had just came on and they were already going in when I went on the stream. So shout out to them. They got it down. They got some sneakerheads in the crew too. I talked to them, so they're cool.
Cool.
Yep.
Sarah Rishti at Dragonflight 126 said Nakamura definitely shocked me with how he claimed victory.
Yeah.
That shocked me as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Thank you for your comment. Glad he's the U.S. champion. Pretty cool. American Wrestling at Amera Wrestle. A lot of storylines and potential drama heading into hashtag WarGames matches. Jade Cargill attackers reveal. Paul Heyman betrayal. The Rock appearance. None of it happened.
True.
Very true.
It leaves a lot more going for Raw now and SmackDown, and so Saturday night main event. So it's good.
If we wrap up all the stories, there's no stories to be told. So
Yeah.
Thank you for your comment. At Jose Hernandez at the Jose 310 said, I thought Sheamus was going to win the IC title right before Ludwig pulled the referee out. I agree. That was such a clever heel move. We don't see that very much in wrestling anymore. In WWE, the referee getting pulled out. And because it was a triple threat.
Yeah, exactly.
And because it was a triple threat, there was no disqualification. Really well done. Jaden at hashtag, Jaden 8 and 4 hashtag fire John Harbaugh at Blamski said, I think Liv should have won or at least have someone else take the pin.
Oh, well, yeah, whatever.
I think Liv should have taken the pin. Rhea needed some comeuppance.
Yeah, if Team Rhea would have lost, and she'd have no reason to go against Liv and have any reason to challenge for the championship or for that feud to continue. And then who's left after any of them to go at them? So
yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
AD at A_Triv07. Roman got all of that without a single apology. He still needs to apologize for real, but I don't know how. But before I finish this, FR and it means for real, and IDK means I don't know, right?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know these shortened things.
I'm pretty sure. With it yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I
got
you.
Yeah.
Said this year's Survivor Series didn't feel like a Big Four event, honestly. Punk definitely added that fun element to the main event, but I still think last year's Survivor Series was better. I think this War Game was better. It had more of a story.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was better because of Punk. I thought it was more of a spectacle, but last year was the one where, like, Sami proved himself, right, for Roman?
No, that was 2 years ago. Last year was when Punk returned.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, last year. I wasn't a fan of last year's.
No, Sami, Jay, Seth, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Punk returning was the great part from last year, but the War Games match, I wasn't crazy about that. I mean, Randy had came back, of course, people were cool with that, but no, the year before that was when Sami proved himself to Roman and sacrificed himself and then gave the haluva kick and all that. That was the second best, if not last night, this Survivor Series with Punk. Yeah,
I agree. Like I said, minus the women's War Games match, I really enjoyed this Survivor Series. So there was even parts of that I enjoyed, but as a whole, I didn't really care for the match.
Yeah.
The last one, Roscoe Eddie Dale at Roed Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's one of two. Okay, this is a long one. Oh boy, he's got 2 pages of stuff here. Oh,
here we go.
Here we go. If you want to be on the show, let us know. Start your own podcast if you want all these thoughts out there.
Gotcha.
All love. It says, I'm not thrilled with the OG Bloodline just coming back to Roman without so much as an apology. I'm glad WWE gave the title to Shinsuke because I don't think a lot of people saw it coming. The fake Damien injury followed up with the Finn interference was all capital stupid. Nia is too damn slow to be in a match like this. Really bored of this Rhea Liv feud, and it's because of Liv. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Removing Jade without unveiling who did it tonight tells me that either she's actually hurt or they have no faith in her. Interested in where the Bloodline stuff goes. Oh, there's one positive there.
Yeah.
I was thinking he was an AEW fan for a while because he was just putting down everything. I think the Damien injury with the Finn interference made sense.
Yeah.
Removing Jade, I think, made sense. Look how chaotic and hectic and off time that match was with a bunch of veterans in there.
And she would have been so dominant in there. They would have had to find a way to really take her out, or else she would have been up the whole time too, right?
Yeah.
Almost like the Jacob Fatu thing, like so dominant, but he had to sell that injury because, I don't know. Yeah. Jade would have been such a force. They would have had to have ton more planned for it. But yeah, I think it's interesting though that they didn't allude anything to who took her out, and that's just more story to go on with.
Right. Well, thank you for all your comments. We really appreciate them, even though we don't agree with half of them.
Yeah. No, we appreciate it. Yeah, thanks again to everybody. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for everybody that showed up. Shout out to Cross Promo Wrestling Show on TikTok. Shout out to everybody on TikTok too. Shout out to Mikey again. And thanks everybody for watching. We had a great time, and we can't wait for Saturday Night Main Event and the Royal Rumble.
In 2 months away.
Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, and everything back over again.
Let's get it.
Let's go. Yeah. So that was WWE Survivor Series War Games. And that's pretty deadly Jesse. Yeah. And I'm Andrew Combat Jones. And you've been listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast. Peace.